Hello and welcome to my very first vlog of this series. After the Olympics, after the silver medal, I realized a lot of people have no idea what the heck's going on when I'm not in the middle of an Olympic race. Therefore, I teamed up with some awesome partners and I decided to make a whole vlog series where I really take all of you behind the scenes into what goes on in my life as an Olympic speed skater. Because yes, it is only every 4 years for 3 weeks that I am an Olympic speed skater, but for all the other months and years, I still train my butt off and I still race a lot. And honestly, I think some of those races and some of those training sessions and just the whole lifestyle of skating is just as incredible as being at the Olympics. Therefore, I want to share that with all of you guys so you don't have to wait another 4 years to get some action. So the way it's going to go is that every single vlog episode is going to be 1 month. That way you guys can see what happens throughout an entire skating season, from the off-season business, media, part of it, into the heavy weeks of training over the summer with no fun competitions, but just the daily grind and digging deep. And then into that whole traveling peak racing part of the year. I am super excited to have you on board. I would love to hear from you in the comments before, after, during watching this. What do you want to see more of? Because I am making this for all of you. So let me know what's interesting and what you just want me to skip so we get down to the actual fun part of it. As you can see, I am making this first episode with a green screen. The reason for this is because the apartment that surrounds that camera right now is quite messy. My wife, Sophia, most of you probably know her, she's also a professional skater, reigning European champion. We are moving from this tiny apartment to a slightly bigger place. The reason for this is because thanks to some fantastic sponsors and the results of last year, we are able to continue skating here in Calgary, Canada, representing Denmark, but skating full-time, training with that incredible team that helped us achieve the things that we did last year. So it is gonna be a staple thing, and right now we're in the whole process of moving from one place to the other, so it's a little messy, so I hope you can live with that. I promise I have a really cool studio set up in the works, and I'm gonna show you that in the next monthly video. So for this video, we're gonna go through April, which was the most extraordinary, which is a crazy thing to say because I came back from the Olympics. That was the most extraordinary month in my entire skating career. It was surreal to return home to Denmark with a medal that was really just a race like any other, a little more important and successful for me, but coming back to Denmark and realizing, oh wow, I am a national superstar. Not being able to go get the bread at the bakery in the morning or put gas on the car without taking photos with people and signing autographs was surreal, but so much fun. I mean, when the reason people know you is something that makes them smile or even cry tears of joy, as it did for myself, it is very nice being reminded all the time, every day, about that experience and why, in addition to just having fun skating in circles, I do skate, and that's been pretty crazy. It was also a month back home in Denmark where so many things had to be prepared. I do really like, when I train, go into this bubble of eat, sleep, skate, train, repeat, and I think in order to do that properly, I really tried to spend that 1 month in Denmark, obviously doing some training, but settling all these business things and sharing this whole awesome experience with different clubs in Denmark, helping the sport grow, motivating people, and doing all of that so that when I get back here now to Canada, I can really just get back in the zone and the daily grind, seeing if I can do one rank better at the Olympics in 4 years, and obviously all the races in between. So starting out, it was coming back to Denmark after all the races. The first 2 weeks I barely trained. I did a couple of jogs, a bike ride if the weather was nice, but really just whatever I felt like. I have realized over my career that the hardest part in this off season in order to recover is not so much the physical part. You can do that with good treatments and doctors and physiotherapist and maybe just taking it easy for a week. It's the mental reset. So every year I do these 2 weeks where I mostly just relax. This time I did relax, but there was also a lot of fun commitments. I did a lot of podcasts. I had a podcast with maybe Denmark's most voted for politician, one of the biggest magazines, and I was part of some different photo shoots, making some commercials for TV, and just a lot of fun things like that. I think I did 10 plus speeches all over the country, maybe even 15, which if anyone wants to book me, end of June, start July, in basically anywhere in the world, I'm available for that. I love that. I think it's the coolest way to be your own psychologist, because you realize how I got to where I got, what mechanism inside my brain led me there, and what made me in some ways different to others. And understanding that was also kind of my own fuel to chasing even more now that I'm back to training. So that was a lot of fun, sharing that with incredible people all over my country. And then slowly getting back into training. Sophie and I, we have a little house in Denmark that we rent out through the season. I talk a lot about this, that there's no real funding. I don't get a salary. It's really just you guys on YouTube watching this, which sends some advertisement money my way, and then sponsors. And we do have this tiny house that we do rent out in the summer and where we're not in Denmark, which is kind of like a big part of our income in order to be able to skate professionally. So that also means we spend these 2 weeks really making sure that house is rentable. And sometimes that's fun, sometimes it's more, oh shoot, this thing is broken, or we need to, get a new lawnmower because it was broken. So like very relatable things to most people, I think. But also very giving when we then finally, lock that door, fly off to Canada knowing this is set. And we spent this month creating the foundation for another year of professional skating. So that was good. And then slowly getting into training. It's good and bad. Every workout hits a little harder, but motivation is crazy. And the fact that you can go into each training session, because I go from training maybe 12 times a week to training 6, means that every time I get on the bike or the inlines or just doing weightlifting stuff, I'm so excited for it. I come there with so much energy, and that's nice. Like, it unbecomes this, all right, it's just work. And I think that's really healthy, and it's an awesome reminder that, like, I just do this because it's fun. It's not for the money or the fame. That was just, I guess the fame came eventually, but that was just a side bonus, being able to share with a lot of people. And then having a lot of sponsor meetings. So did land some new sponsorships. I am still hoping for some to be confirmed here, especially hoping for that entire 4-year period. I think it's very easy for brands and people to forget that you don't win the Olympics in a month or a year. You do it in a whole career, and especially this 4-year period is too competitive to just, all right, we'll jump on the train, we'll do this as a profession for 6 months and then wing it. That's not how it goes. It is every single day for just the entire 4 years, but also a whole career. I've been at this with everything since I was, I think, 8-10 years old. I trained more than once a day already. And yeah, so I'm really hoping to connect with some good partners, some good brands. If you have any in mind, then please text me, email me. I would love to be set up with the right people that want to be part of my next Olympic journey that starts now. And then I will do my best to get back in terms of marketing and showing the world what they do for me and what they can do for them. So these are all the things I spent the off season doing, and then we flew back to Calgary, Canada. End of April we flew back, and starting this series training April 27th, where it's almost like a real job. Like, we meet up with the team 9 a.m. in the morning, have a 3-hour workout, lunch break, train for 2-3 hours in the afternoon, and repeat over and over. That's been so much fun. Like, I really realized I have a lot to learn, but also all the things I struggled to do technically last year, a lot of those have become habits, which allows me to have a higher baseline of this is how I skate. And then I can focus on smaller details that are now unfamiliar or difficult for me to implement in how I skate. But the fact that so much of that is just like, that's the basics now. I don't have to think about it subconsciously. I push through the heel, or I delay my push so I get a little more out of it. The fact that that's just like, that happens on its own allows me to think about other things like engaging the core a little more, or smaller details, and hopefully that can get me from, last year was a big jump in the right direction, but I haven't won the Olympics yet, so I still have some work to do. And that's what I'm hoping for over the next year, the next 4 years. And it's been awesome. New teammates. Obviously, my good friend and teammate Ted is now a coach of our team, but we have previous world record holder Greg Fish as one of my core teammates, and still building this team in Calgary with so many cool international skaters, and yeah, it's just awesome. Like, imagine being with people that are not just the best in the world at what they do and what you love to do, but also so dedicated every single day. That's something I'll never take for granted, and I love that. And then I am shooting out a lot of content. Part of what I did in April was also just shooting content for you guys, because I want to share the journey. I am little by little understanding what impact that has, and that's a lot more than just my own joy of trying to skate faster. So I feel like that's like an exponential, I don't know, joy or benefit of spending so much time figuring out how to skate. So that's coming out there. A lot of it is coming on OnlyFans. That's still free, the OnlyFans. So please do hop in there. And I'm just gonna share all my training stuff. We got some awesome new bikes from Canyon, both Sophia and I. Makes it a lot more fun to spend 15 hours in the saddle every week. And we got some new equipment sponsors rolling in here, and I'm obviously gonna share all of that. And we have some pretty fun trips with some sponsors. We ended up renewing our contract with Intake Breathing, with Senowil, and those are two of the sponsors that I really feel like I work well with the people, and there's products that make an actual difference. So that makes it more fun. Also, when you don't feel like you have to spam people, but like, this might actually help you. So that stuff is all gonna be out here on the channel in the time to come. And then I think I'm just gonna let the vlog take me where the vlog takes me. Obviously now it's a lot of training. It's gonna be part of the May vlog. So this April I just wanted to let you know what happens when for 1 month a year I'm not putting skating and training first. I'm putting the business part and setting up an 11-month professional skating season for the rest of the year. It's a little complicated, but it's also a lot of things that I love doing. Like, I love sharing it, and especially this year, it's been a lot of sharing it. If you want to support this, I think the best way to do it for me would be obviously for you guys to join my OnlyFans, but also to become a member of this YouTube channel. You can do that for $2 a month, and then you get access to a bunch of videos that I made, more tutorials, more behind the scenes, and you get to support me and Sophia in hopefully, you know, getting more medals. We'll do our best, that's a promise. That's one thing I can always vouch for. So I hope you want to be part of the journey, and just thanks for watching this. Either way, it's fun making, and I hope you want to subscribe, because this is one of many vlogs. And yeah, they're gonna be honest, they're gonna be open, and it's gonna be everything from skating. So see you soon.